So there's some big things that people get missed all the time. And we always have claims every year that come from this. Number one is frozen pipes. So I would recommend the northeaster will start blowing. If you don't have vents, if you have vents and you don't have the vent plugs in, make sure you get those put in sooner rather than later. Yeah, there was one year I had failed to do my due diligence, and everybody here at my office was giving me a bad time because I was running home. I was like, I got to get home. It's supposed to drop below 0 tonight with the wind chill. And I knew I needed to get those vent plugs in. So there I was, 7 o'clock at night, fumbling with the wind blowing, freezing cold, trying to plug up my vents. So I would recommend, which I do now, make sure you get those vent covers in early once the weather starts to change, because that cold cold northeaster blowing, sorry if I get my words out here, cold northeaster blowing combined with falling temperatures leads to a lot of frozen pipes. And that's a huge risk factor. We see a lot of claims come in on that. And the big part about that is when you have a water claim now too, so you have your pipes burst, it damages, causes flooding, you're replacing insulation, you're replacing flooring, and all kinds of damage. And those things are covered on your insurance. It's subject to your deductible, but it is covered. The problem with it is that now you have a claim and it's a water claim and it sits on your home. Now, if you're going to sell your house in the next 3 years, that could cause a problem for the person who wants to buy your house. And a lot of people don't realize that claims, especially water claims, will stay with that property even if they change hands. And so it can affect the buyer. And so I've seen real estate deals get messed up simply because there was prior water claims on the property. So be preventative, put in those vent plugs all the way around. Make sure that any of your water lines under your house have been insulated. I recommend, it's not my funnest thing to ever do, but I do recommend going under and over your house twice a year. So as you're coming into the fall, go under the house, make sure that there's no missing insulation around water pipes. Go over the house, make sure that if you have anything in your attic, that there's no exposed piping, that there's no issues with your insulation, and also make sure that there's no critters that are starting to roost in your attic, because that can also be an issue. You get squirrels, or you can get rats, mice, or bats in your attic, and you want to make sure that you're aware of that before it shows itself. Like oftentimes people don't realize they have a problem until it's coming through their drywall. By that point, it's a massive amount of damage. And depending on what caused the damage, when you get into rodents, bats, things like that, those are typically excluded on your homeowner's policies. And so then you run into problems where you have a massive cleanup bill and no coverage to help you with it. So like I said, the weather's getting colder. Rodents, mice, bats, all of those creatures are looking for warm spaces. So make sure you go up and down, above and below your house to make sure that everything's tightened up, insulated. You're not leaving any open spots for critters to get in.